big dividends.
James, of course, the East Regional Finals coming up, Georgetown and Duke, and we'll continue here on CBS after this word from your local station.
Behind every single flight one of these makes stand the 60,000 professionals of United Airlines, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies.
Last year, the final round. Sandy Lyle finds himself in the bunker at 18.
When I got there, I found myself in a decent lie. That was the one thing I needed, was a decent lie. There was quite a high lip in that bunker, and once I got a decent lie, I knew exactly what to do from there. I could tell by the feel of the club, it felt good, the right sort of distance. And I knew it was going to be close between going over the back and coming down. And I did the right thing for a change.
The right thing it was. A tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS Sports.
This is CBS.
In America, more and more people who really appreciate beer are drinking German beer. And the German beer they're drinking more of is Beck's. Beck's, the #1 imported German beer. It's well known that the best beer in the world comes from Germany. And the best German beer in America is Beck's. So when you're drinking Beck's, you're drinking the best of the best. Beck's, the #1 imported German beer.
In the last few years, the U.S. dollar has declined substantially against the German mark and the Japanese yen. The result has been to drive the prices of foreign luxury cars dramatically higher. $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. Sure makes Cadillac luxury seem like a real bargain.
Fear on the Farm. A special report Monday at 5.
CBS Sports coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship Regional Final game from East Rutherford, New Jersey is sponsored by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. The U.S. Army, where you get an edge on light. Be all you can be. And by the heartbeat of America, today's Chevrolet.
All right, James, we are now getting set for the final spot for Seattle. Let's take a look at the way it's shaping up at the moment as Duke and Georgetown are pending at the Meadowlands, but we do know that there's a Big Ten flair on one side of the bracket in the national semifinals. Michigan against Illinois will be one game. It'll be Seton Hall against the winner of Georgetown-Duke, a possible Big East flavor on the other side, but I'm sure the Blue Devils will have something to say about that. We'll come back with a tip-off of the East Final on CBS in just a moment.
Nature's light, enriching our full, fresh hops, as only nature can, brings out the clean, fresh taste that makes Bud Light the one light that outshines them all.
You know, a lot of people are succeeding in business thanks to desktop publishing. Makes you look pretty smart, doesn't it? Only thing is, what if you need 5,000? Printed just as nice for that big meeting. Now, how are you going to get that done? Huh?
Topping Supreme Pizza from Pizza Hut. Get one medium for $8.99 or two for just $4 more.
Listen to the heartbeat of America. Listen to the heartbeat of America. Oh, yeah.
The Chevy Beretta Sport Coupe. Designed to help you look better. Engineered to help you drive better. And priced to let you live better.
Across the Hudson, East Rutherford, New Jersey, the final invitation is about to be earned to the big party in Seattle. Big Ten teams have qualified. One for the Big East. This is the final chance for the ACC, and it will be the second seed of the East region. The Duke Blue Devils up against the top seed in the East, the mighty Hoyas of Georgetown. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. I'm Brad Musburger along with Billy Packer. Billy, here we have a couple of schools that are only 5 hours apart. They both recruit heavily in the Washington, D.C. area, yet you have to go all the way back to 1933 before you can find Duke playing Georgetown in a basketball game.
Those guys that played that game wouldn't recognize the sport they're going to see today, I can assure you.
Let's start off with the physical condition of Charles Smith. How is he today for John Thompson?
Talked to him a little while ago. He said on a 10-point scale the other day he was about a 4. Today he's about an 8.5. So he's almost fully recovered and has practiced with the club.
The young man who has carried this team in the tournament, the freshman sensation Alonzo Mourning.
Interesting matchup today. I think that you're going to find Mourning somewhere in the course of this game on Danny Ferry down in low. He is an incredible rebounder and shot blocker.
When Duke comes to the Meadowlands, they breathe fire. They're unbeaten in 2 regional finals, have lost only once in 9 games here.
Only 1 game. That was to Arizona, one of the best games played this year in the regular season. Obviously an outstanding club that beat them, so they love this arena.
And they have a great player in Danny Ferry.
He's so consistent in every phase of the game. A great passer. He can bring the ball up against the press. He's a good outside shooter. Makes matchup problems very tough for John Thompson.
Take a look at the matchups here this afternoon. These will be the starting lineups for both Duke and Georgetown. And off of transition, how they match up defensively is going to be so important. For example, can Christian Leitner, another freshman, handle Mourning in the pivot? How will the Hoyas go out after Ferry? Will they let a smaller Jaren Jackson go out after him because Ferry has the range? These are all the questions that are about to be answered here. Our referee today is Ted Hillary of Grand Rapids, Michigan. His umpires are David Jones of Gainesville, Florida, and Tom Harrington of Chico, California.
These 2 fellas in the center jump circle just last year as high school All-Americans played with and against each other at times.
Controlled by Duke. It was Bricky, number 21, jumping in and getting the opening tap. Even though Duke is seeded 2, they are the favorite in this regional title game.
Great man-to-man. It is Leitner going with Alonzo.
And Henderson takes Smith inside and gets the roll for the game's first field goal. Duke strikes first. Bricky knocks the ball out of bounds. Georgetown's ball.
Brennan, mentioning Bricky, he's one of the few fellas this year that will match up with Georgetown. Athletic ability against athletic ability. He has got a little bit more size on the men that will be playing him. Explosively.
The Hoyas will search for a perimeter shooter. Charles Smith has been the main man until this tournament. Jaren Jackson earlier in the year, he ties it with his first field goal.
And he'll be able to take Bricky in those one-on-one moves. He's much quicker out there.
Turner has extended to go out after Ferry, so Turner will chase Ferry right now.
Playing up on top of Danny Ferry, making him put the ball on the floor.
And off the dribble, Ferry's first field goal. Both teams start out red hot. All the way with Bryant missing, and Bricky rebounds the first missed field goal opportunity of the game.
When you mentioned that Turner-Ferry matchup, Turner has played forwards all year, but never one that could be that big and move outside on him.
Off a screen, Mourning switches, Ferry fires, misfires. Here comes Bryant, puts it down.
3-on-1.
Snyder's back, and they get it to Jackson. Good defense by Snyder, and Jackson can't hit it, and Ferry's first rebound.
You'll see some emotional fatigue take place in about the next 30 seconds. These players are going so fast they can't get their breath emotionally.
First personal on Bryant, and of course, Billy, depth in the bench. It proved to be so valuable for Seton Hall and P.J. Carlesimo. And here in New Jersey in the Meadowlands, you'll see any number of Seton Hall T-shirts and banners. The team did not return to its campus here in New Jersey. P.J. Carlesimo took Seton Hall out to Los Angeles. No school next week. They'll prepare there before going to Seattle. Henderson misfires. Loose taken by Leitner, the freshman. Great rejection. Leitner right back for the field goal.
He's quick off the floor, and he probably has about an inch on Alonzo Mourning. So he's going to have, Alonzo will have 2 fellas he has to handle in there of good size. Ferry playing Mourning now man-to-man.
Ferry leaning against Mourning. Ferry with the experience, trying to keep him outside. The Hoyas will try to get him involved. He's been the scoring leader from the perimeter. He bangs one in.
said he's a talented kid. Now he's matched up with Danny Ferry.
Snyder and fouled as he drove to the glass, and on Bryant, that's 2 quick ones.
There was a case where Duke has taken the ball right to Georgetown, so Alonzo got with Danny Ferry, which took him outside on the perimeter, therefore not inside to be able to block those shots. Not the matchup that John Thompson wants to system.
You know, Quinn Snyder, who's stepping up to the free throw line, is from Mercer Island, Washington. He was twice the Washington State Player of the Year, so a trip to the Final Four would be a homecoming. And many of the Duke players, including Danny Ferry, his roommate, said, we can't wait to have some of Mrs. Snyder's home cooking, as Mark Tillman checks in off the Georgetown bench, and Brad sits down with those 2 fouls.
You know, Brent, Duke went to Seattle earlier this year. It might have been one of the problems they had. It was a very difficult trip, flying all the way out, playing a game, flying all the way back cross country in about a day and a half.
Snyder pressuring Smith. He did a terrific job against the West Virginia guards. What a defensive tussle that was between Duke and the Mountaineers. Smith with a bounce to Tillman is short on the shot. Knocked out of bounds by Duke.
Charles Smith looks considerably more quick on his feet than he was the other day. Looks like he's finally overcome that flu bug. Man-to-man out of bounds. Georgetown very quick going to the hoop.
Jackson lost it. Leitner recovers on the turnover. Henderson's in the middle. Bricky's on the left. And Henderson goes for the layup, and Bricky is there.
There's a case again. Alonzo trying to do it all by himself defensively. Bricky's such a great leaper, able to get that second board. Twice Duke has been able to put back a miss.
Snyder all over Smith, and a 5-second violation. Great defense by Quinn Snyder, forcing the turnover. Duke with a 9-4 lead under Coach K here. 17-23 first half.
When you mentioned Seton Hall, we talk about these 2 clubs, both holding opponents down around the 40% defensive field goal percentage. See Georgetown changing their defense, going to a little box and 1 on Danny Ferry.
All 5 Duke starters have scored. Snyder with the free throw, the others with the field goal. Henderson's second field goal. It's a blazing start. And Georgetown's defense has not been as effective in this tournament as it was during the regular season and in the Big East tournament. Now Tillman off the dribble, loses it, but Mourning underneath.
You notice Duke is actually pressing Georgetown in the backcourt more than Georgetown is Duke. Let's check this defense right here. It's a box and 1. Put Jaren Jackson on Danny Ferry.
Chasing with a shorter man, and Ferry takes him into the paint. Fakes on Mourning, comes up, and he drew the foul on the inside off the fake.
Danny Ferry made a good observation about Alonzo Mourning, and we'll see it coming right up here. There's the box and 1. Danny Ferry's going to lose Jaren Jackson, come right across the lane. Gets himself an easy shot here. Now watch, he realized you're not going to put it up on Alonzo when he's only 2 feet away from you.
The foul is on Jackson as Ferry, Player of the Year, according to one ballot, at the Naismith Trophy. Been to the Final Four twice in his first 3 years at Duke.
To join Patrick as one of those that made it 3 times.
Sam Jefferson checking in, and Turner sits down. This is an attempt by Coach Thompson to get himself a little more speed on the perimeter defensively. If there's anything with this team that Coach Thompson's concerned about, it's speed on the perimeter against Ferry. Smith forces a shot and gets it to fall. It was a 2. Back to within 4. Duke has led it all the way. It was tied at 2. Ferry coming back, got it over Mourning's outstretched reach, and Mourning may have gotten just a piece of it. They get it back in the hands of Alonzo, who can handle it for a big man. It's Smith again. And Mourning underneath. Leitner rejects it. Snyder comes down, 3-on-3. The Hoyas are back, and Snyder to the glass, and it's a blocking foul against Georgetown. Thompson upset.
Christian Leitner has been truly outstanding both in the ACC tournament and in this NCAA tournament. He's a young man that's going to be of All-American caliber as well as Alonzo Mourning. There is a very clean block. Quinn Snyder headed the other way on the fast break. One interesting observation of what a little wrinkle of what Mike Krzyzewski's doing in his defense. Danny Ferry, realizing Mourning takes his time down the court, is being used to press Charles Smith almost double team in the backcourt. That's going to take a lot of strength to be able to do that all game because Ferry's going to have to work on both ends.
Abdel Nabi, the veteran center, checks in, and Leitner sits down. So they'll run a fresh player in to the middle against Alonzo Mourning. So critical as to how those two will hold up. Thompson is upset because 4 fouls have been called against Georgetown and none against Duke.
See that little double team look Ferry's given to try to slow Charles Smith down.
Snyder assessed the personal foul, but he is doing a great job defensively of staying on Smith. That time a little too tightly. How Georgetown got here, one of the most memorable games, if not the most memorable, beating Princeton of the Ivy League by 150-49, exploding in the second half against Notre Dame, and then holding off a determined North Carolina State team 69-61. Now for Georgetown, Dikembe Mutombo of Zaire, Africa, checks in, and Mourning will take a breather.
Smith also in for Duke University, so both coaches realizing these teams are expending tremendous energy. Both teams deep enough to go to that bench to 8 or 9 men. Lonzo looks like he wants to get right back in there. Give me about 20 seconds, Coach.
Nabi yanks off the missed free throw. Snyder will bring it down for Duke. He's the floor leader. He was the shooting guard. He replaced Tommy Amaker. Now chasing on the inside. Mutombo with the Nabi tried to jump out. Tillman yanks away the defensive board. Lead now to Winston. Winston's got daylight. He'll go for that shot. Tries to save it, and it's Duke's ball.
And Georgetown with Mutombo in the game went straight man-to-man that time down the floor. Now they go into their full court press. Playing a zone press.
Cross here to Smith, who has tremendous range for Duke.
Jefferson on Ferry. Straight man-to-man.
Ferry with his back to the glass. Backs in on Jefferson. Off the fake. Draws the double team, and it's knocked away and out of bounds.
Good double team. Now John Smith is an excellent outside shooter. Ferry was going to dump it out there for his 3.
Ferry dumps into Abdel Nabi. Abdel Nabi going to go, but he traveled. That's the first Duke turnover of the game. Came at the 14:53 mark. 13-9. Blue Devils lead.
Every night while you're sleeping, UPS is maintaining its status as the only company that delivers overnight to every address coast to coast. And we guarantee it with UPS Next Day Air. And because we're so efficient, we'll still do it for up to half what other companies charge, which is guaranteed to cause our competition some sleepless nights. UPS, we run the tightest ship in the shipping business.
If you've got yourself a car and you've got yourself a house, you could be on your way to some very nice savings. Because with Allstate Homeowners Insurance and an excellent driving record, you could save up to 15% on your auto insurance. And 15% could mean big money for all the important little things.
What a day.
What a day. The Allstate Auto Advantage. Another reason. A member of the Sears Financial Network.
Listen to the heartbeat of America.
Listen to the heartbeat of America. Oh, yeah.
The new Chevy Cavalier. With all the fun it gives you, it just could be one of the best bargains you've ever driven.
To the heartbeat of America.
That's today's Chevrolet.
Tuesday, he saved her life.
Was it self-defense?
I don't know that.
Of course it was self-defense. Tell him!
Now his is about to be destroyed. Tour of duty.
Billy Charles Smith, bedridden, troubled by the flu, and so he returned to his mother, Diane. And what does she give him? Hot lemonade and tea and plenty of chicken soup. And he reported today that he's a lot better than he was the other night.
Well, everything except what Jimmy Valvano prescribed, and that was 2 weeks off before the game the other night.
Georgetown trailing. This is Tillman, and he makes it 2 points closer.
He's going to the basket early here in this ball game. They've got to find another scorer. It's been Jaren Jackson throughout the course of the year. Now let's see the zone. 2-1-2 with Mutombo in the middle. So this is the 4th defense John Thompson has used so far in the first 5 minutes of this game.
Ferry working the left baseline. Off with that shot. Tapped by Henderson. Here's Smith of the Hoyas. Drops it to Mutombo for the tie.
Mutombo thinks he's back in the Big East tournament. He had a great turn. He hadn't seen much action in the NCAA so far.
Didn't play at all against Princeton. Defending Abdel Nabi. He dropped it deep to Abdel Nabi. Mutombo was there to reject it. Smith up over the top. Won by Ferry, who chases it down. Deflected out of bounds. Hoyas ball.
Although Mutombo didn't get that second block, Smith was thinking about him when he took that little jump. Well, that's a solid 3 minutes John Thompson got out of Mutombo.
And Mutombo will sit as Mourning is back.
Brent, with the zones that we're seeing by John Thompson, unless Snyder, or in this case Kubek, who's now in the game, starts showing they can shoot from outside, you'll see more zone from him.
Winston on the drive, and the Hoyas lead at 15-13 at the 13:20 mark. Georgetown's first lead of this regional final.
Hey, they go back into that zone. I think John's comfortable with that defense. He wants to see if Duke can hit one.
Kubek into the lineup for Duke.
They know Ferry can shoot from out there. They'll play him tight.
Snyder's 3 is off. Hoyas rebound, and the zone throwing Duke off at least for the moment. Here's Jefferson from the perimeter. And that's rebounded by Leitner, his 3rd.
See if Mike Krzyzewski doesn't try to get Danny Ferry down and low, get the ball inside this zone instead of going off perimeter. There he is. He's got Mourning on his back.
Now he steps back out because he didn't get it on the inside. He'll go across to Snyder. Back off the fake.
Snyder needed a backdoor cut. He'd had a nice little jumper from the foul line.
Quickness on this Georgetown defense. They get to the ball so fast. Ricky on the drive. Couldn't get it to stay down. Georgetown's ball. Bricky and Mourning collide. No harm, no foul. Bricky yells something back at Mourning. Mourning now comes down. It'll be 5-on-5.
Good check by Danny Ferry that time. Charles Smith had the lane. Princeton can take Bricky out here. Go a little 4 corners, huh?
Tillman on the pull-up, and it's a 4-point lead. And Duke has missed its last 8 shots against the Georgetown defense. So Mike Krzyzewski will use a timeout.
Customer service.
Say a customer calls about a shipment.
Okay, good example. We bring up a scanned image of the customer file. PO, order sheet, bill of lading, signature of the guy who received it. All paperwork's on the screen. Yes, it's shipped. Meanwhile, a database record comes up with all the billing information. Bing, 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 whatever's in the file. You do confirmation WP, fax a copy out to the guy, all the way got him on the phone. 5 minutes. That's integrated imaging, completely integrated. That's the key. All right, another example, legal, litigation support. You put in Wang's integrated imaging system.
We're back with another test of Chevy versus Ford. And this one you can do at home. Just load both trucks with eggs, then lower something heavy down on them. You'll see that Chevy has these notches that let you do double-deck loading. You'll see that Ford doesn't have any notches. That's why we've had a change of heart about pickups. With Ford, you can bring home the bacon. With Chevy, you can bring home the bacon and the eggs.
The heartbeat of America. That's today's Chevy truck.
the baseline that we saw.
Well, two players getting their arms tied up with each other right there, both very strong. And Alonso, of course, backing off, which is a smart move on his part, because we saw in the game the other night with Avon Lester, not smart to get yourself in any altercations in the tournament. Back to the box in one now, with Jaron Jackson on Danny Ferry.
Constantly changing defenses. They have bottled up Ferry so far. He's only 1 of 5 in the game.
Turner very active down that baseline.
It'll be Henderson missing the 3, but Bricky with an offensive rebound. The long rebounds off those missed 3s, and they want Kubek. They try to punch to Ferry, and Jackson jumping back in. Knocked it out of bounds. It'll be Duke's ball. 39 on that shot clock.
Brent, if you're John Thompson sitting on the bench, you're gaining confidence with the zone, because so far Duke hasn't showed any ability to put the ball up from the perimeter.
What Mourning does better than perhaps any player in the country. Another rejection. Tillman pass ricocheted. 3, loose ball. Hoyas go diving to the floor. Out of bounds off Duke. It'll be Georgetown's ball.
Brent, you said maybe better than any player in the country, maybe better than any player in the history of college basketball, including the great Bill Russell, because the game has changed a lot since those days. That's the 4th Georgetown block. They've shattered all NCAA records this year in shot blocking.
Mourning putting it on the floor, drew the foul from Leitner, and you can hear Leitner exclaim his unhappiness with the whistle.
Pretty good defense and good patience by Alonzo Mourning not to put that ball on the floor too soon. To give you some kind of idea about the shot blocking ability of Georgetown, if you take Mutombo and Alonzo out of their lineup statistically, the rest of the team still would have blocked more shots than their opponents.
Air ball. Duke's ball. Now Snyder, the point man, is back in the game. Ferry will take it out of bounds. And Snyder will see if he can ignite a fire.
Duke will not solve this problem or get John out of this zone until they show somebody can hit consistently from the perimeter.
It'll be Ferry's chance. Now he's 2 of 6.
Other than Ferry. Other than Ferry.
2-point game, 17-15, 10:23 to go. The winner draws Seton Hall next Saturday in Seattle. Illinois will play Michigan in the other national semifinal. On the drive, Smith couldn't get at the ball, but there is Mourning.
No block out on him.
Long pass, and Bricky comes up on Mourning, but it wouldn't stay down. Smith in the middle, and Ferry goes down, and the blocking foul is called on Ferry.
Good call. Danny Ferry didn't get there in time. Alonzo hurt his leg right on this play. He is limping. He twisted either his ankle or his knee down there. We knew Bricky would challenge him somewhere in the course of this game. But again, that's not a block. But you just knew that Bricky tried to go up a little bit too high, knowing that Alonzo was there for the block.
This has the pace of a true championship game. Smith rides in, goes underhanded, and now 5 points for the Hoyas leader. It's a 21-15 lead, their biggest lead of the game. They're up by 6.
They've gone zone. Duke has not had much going for them.
And the foul down on the inside was Jackson, who was matched up against the taller Leitner. And Alonzo being treated over on the Georgetown bench over there may have twisted that left knee, judging by the treatment he's receiving. And Charles Smith was also limping just a bit, and now he sits down and he begins to take off his left sneaker. So that ankle perhaps is bothering him too. So the 2 main men for the Hoyas are out right now at the 9:38 mark. Let's set the lineup. Winston is on the floor for you, along with Jefferson, Jackson, and Tillman, and Mutombo is in the middle. Here is Bricky coming in on Mutombo, and he drew the foul.
But I think that's very good strategy on Bricky's part to take the ball to the basket in the form of a dunk. Anytime you release that ball inside the dotted line with Mutombo or Mourning, they're going to pick it off. So you might as well go for the dunk. He's changing sneakers, isn't it? So he has a wrap on. That's a brace that he has
going
around
to that brace around that injured ankle. 2. Ricky with a pair of free throws.
He's the insensate.
Well, you know what Matumbo is also? He's the designated interviewee.
Even
he was
when he's
back
not
in the
asked.
locker room. He didn't play much against North Carolina State. John Thompson had to come in and say, "Get your pants on. We're going home." He loved to talk to these reporters.
How about the reporter asked him after the Princeton game why he didn't get in a game? He said, "I'll have to tell you in French."
Against the Duke pressure now.
Without Charles Smith, the problem here for Georgetown.
And Duke realizing it. Getting free is Winston. That's his shot. He can hit that running one-hander from about 5 to 6 feet as well as any player left in the tournament. It's 23-17 Hoyas. Leitner with Matumbo stepping out on him.
Nice job by Matumbo.
Henderson wants to pump it into Leitner, but get it to him, so it'll be Bricky coming in, and he drew another foul on Matumbo. Glad to have you along here in the Meadowlands with Billy Packer. I'm Brett Musburger. This is the final regional championship game, the East and the final piece of that puzzle. See how they've shot. Duke not shooting well against this Hoya defense.
What else is new?
Yeah, but you know, in this tournament, Billy, that has not been the case so far.
Right.
Teams have shot well against the Hoyas as Smith limps back into the war, and what a warrior he is. Now the player of the year in the Big East, in bed all week prior to the North Carolina State game. And Mourning returns, and Matumbo sits down because of the 2 fouls. Mourning has scored 6 points. He's blocked 3 shots. He has not picked up a single personal foul.
Another interesting stat when you go through here. Mourning and Danny Ferry this year both had exactly the same number of rebounds on the season, 243. Playing different styles of basketball. The quirk of the stats.
Georgetown is over the limit on fouls at the 8:51 mark. Duke still has 3 to give, so you might want to keep that in mind right now.
Duke picking up full court and 3/4 court, and what's that doing is allowing Georgetown to beat them out front and getting some 5-on-4 situations. That's why they're going to the hoop so well.
Winston has been playing with confidence. He's a veteran. Tillman looks for shots from the baseline in. Turner covered by Leitner now, and Ferry takes Mourning on the inside.
Ricky not used to playing a man that far away from the basket.
It'll be Tillman on the go. And he banks it in.
Shades of Glenn Rice, but he walked before he got that shot off.
25-18, 8-13. Now it's Duke's turn to see what they can do against this zone with Mourning in the middle. Leitner from the perimeter. He has a good shooting touch.
Made 14 in a row over 3 games at one point in this season.
Tillman's 3. Rebound, Leitner. Good another freshman. Boy, there's some good young freshmen in college basketball this year, and big men, too.
Well, Brent, I think most people agree last year was the finest crop of big players that have ever been in high school basketball. They've been distributed all over the land.
Duke will set an inbounds play.
See John comfortable to play zone when Alonzo's in the game and plays man-to-man when Matumbo's in the game.
Now here comes a little range on the outside shot for Duke, and that is Smith. Ricky will sit down. Smith can shoot the 3. And he does it regularly. So from the perimeter, they now have Ferry and Smith. Bryant returning for the Hoyas.
Not a real tough matchup problem for Duke, though, because Smith has to play a guard defensively.
Ferry wanted Henderson, who had broke in. He was thinking that Ferry was going to go ahead with the shot. So on the turnover, it's the Hoyas' ball. And that's only 3 turnovers by Duke. They trail it by 5. They took an early lead, and then the Hoyas rebounded.
Again, that's not credited as a shot block, but that's what happened.
That is a shot block. And Henderson busts out, and right with him is Bryant. Bryant fouled him, and that's his 3rd personal foul.
That hurts John Thompson. Very valuable. Bryant had a great game against NC State the other day.
Georgetown foul by Dwayne.
Abdel Nabi in for Coach Krzyzewski, and Tillman for Coach Thompson.
Brent, not only does that hurt not to be able to use Brian on the floor, but when you get this foul trouble, it takes away the depth that John has been able to use very well, particularly with his backcourt rotation in this game.
Henderson's taken 7 shots from the field and hit only 2 of them today, but he comes back with a free throw, and that gives him 5 points now for the afternoon.
And for those fans that wondered why there wasn't a violation there on Bobby Winston, the shot went in. So if it hadn't gone in, Henderson would have got another shot.
This has been an incredible pace here in the first half of this game. Both coaches using their benches regularly. It's a 3-point Georgetown lead. Snyder taking Smith. They want to get Mourning back into the offense. Leitner has it. Mourning turns inside and stays right with it off the miss. 8 points for the freshman.
He's so quick and strong on that second move.
Now they go to pressure on the trap, and they go cross court to Smith. Snyder's on the left. He'll come in on Mourning. Came up on him, tried to draw the foul, and goaltending. Scoring for Leitner, and Snyder went down hard. Snyder crashed to the floor and was shaken up on the original shot in that sequence.
Great judgment by the official on that particular play. He allowed Alonzo not call a foul on Snyder, and that was goaltending because Alonzo caught himself right underneath the basket. Now watch this. Nice no call on that play. Leitner pushes off. Alonzo's going to see that Snyder down on the play. This is a good no call here. Quinn's evidently okay.
He's fine. He sets his defense over there against Smith. Jefferson comes out high. Now it's Winston. Abdelnaby switches on him. Leitner still with Mourning on the inside. They go, and he turns, and he fouls him. No, 3 seconds before the foul. 3-second violation on Mourning. It goes over to Duke.
Boy, that was great defense that time by Leitner, who tried to fight over the top, and that's tough to do with as quick as Alonzo and as strong as he is with those arms.
Really, it would seem that Duke's a lot different team with Quinn Snyder out on the floor. He took that breather, and Georgetown started to run away from him a little bit. Now he's back, and it's a 3-point game. Curry gets it to Henderson. Henderson hits a 2.
You know, in NCAA tournament play, certain guys get hot. Henderson is that man for Duke. 22 in 2 games at 21 so far in the tournament.
Winston on a runner. Abdelnaby chases it down in the corner, but it was out of bounds.
Brent, what John Smith has got to do, he can't handle Bobby Winston on the outside. He's going to have to back off him and let him take the shot. When he tries to pressure him, Winston goes right by him. That's a good matchup for Georgetown here. Winston much too quick for him.
Look at Snyder extending the Blue Devil defense. That's about as high as you'll ever see anybody. Take Smith, and they're coming right out on him now. With Tillman, quicker than Henderson, gets by to Jefferson.
We've said all year long, this Georgetown team's got 14 guys that can play. Jefferson getting a lot of playing time today, much more than he's seen in recent weeks. But he's obviously a very good player. We'll go back to the 2-3 zone.
Henderson, he hits the 3. 11 points for Henderson in the first half, and he puts Duke up by 1, 30-29 at the 5:15 mark.
And John goes to his 4 corners almost exclusively, trying to take advantage of that quickness matchup. See, Winston goes by Smith. Surprised Mike doesn't go back and play a little zone against this.
Tillman slipped, got it over to Jefferson. They'll bring it back out. Winston on the fake coming inside, and the foul is called on Duke. That's Smith's first.
You have the clock as your opponent in most cases, but here it becomes your aid. If a team goes 4 corners this early in the game, you can go back in the zone and let them hold it out there for a while, and then let attack you with 10 seconds to go. Because they have a bad mismatch there with John Smith on Bobby Winston, who's going by him every time.
We've got a timeout. Georgetown leading by 1 point.
Life's full of simple pleasures, like the comfort of Levi's jeans. Or had you forgotten?
Hey, we talk about playground legends. You gotta bring up a guy named Lamar Mundane. I seen him just rain jump shots on people. 4, 5, 6 shots in a row. People just started calling him Money. Because when he shot, it was money in the bank. He'd come down and shoot a 15-footer. Everybody on the side be hollering, layup. Slam dunks are tough. But when a 35-footer come raining out the sky, it'll wire you up.
When the new legends are made, they'll be wearing Reeboks.
Who says Chevy beats Ford? USAC tested Chevy's compact S10 with available Vortec V6 against 2 full-size Fords with standard 6 and available V8. 0 to 60, towing identical trailers, Chevy S10 beat both full-size Fords. That's pickup power.
And if a compact Chevy S10 with a V6 can out-accelerate a full-size Ford with a V8, imagine what it can do against Ford's little truck.
The heartbeat of America, that's today's Chevy truck.
It is paved with glory.
Paved with heartbreak.
Follow the road.
The road to the Final Four.
The Final Four.
Next Saturday.
On CBS Sports.
Why we got here, let's take a look at some of the impressive numbers for the teams that are already in the Final Four. And we will get an opportunity momentarily to show you what Seton Hall, Michigan, and Illinois have accomplished in getting there. This is the final piece. It's Duke and Georgetown, the winner to play Seton Hall. East meets West next Saturday. Danny Ferry wants it to be 3 times in 4 years.
Beautiful pump fake on Jefferson that time.
Georgetown back by a point again.
Ferry not on anybody. Charles Smith open.
Abdelnaby defended it, forced the turnover. Snyder controls.
Tough break for Georgetown because Alonzo Mourning was wide open inside.
Henderson rolls. Yanked away by Jefferson. It's 3-on-1. Manpower advantage. Smith pulls up. Offensive rebound knocked away by Abdelnaby. He comes back up and a foul on Duke. Now those numbers. Folks, this is no fluke. The Wolverines have averaged 94 points a game in the tournament. As for Seton Hall, their average margin of victory has been 15 points. That's the biggest loss Indiana's ever suffered in the tournament. And Illinois pounding away at the glass, a rebounding margin of +10. You know, folks call Seton Hall a Cinderella because it's only their 2nd year in the NCAA. The P.J. Carlissimo has gotten there. But that is such a tough defensive team. It's really hard for us to refer to them. They're better than I guess everybody expected.
Well, Brett, they have beaten Georgetown. They've played head-to-head with the Syracuses, and they have not lost to an out-of-conference opponent this entire year. And in the NCAA tournament, holding people under 40% field goal shooting percentage, you've got to be a solid defensive team to do that.
Tillman with the free throw ties the game at 4-10. The bounce to Ferry. Smith to double down, and Ferry rises up and didn't get the roll, and now Abdelnaby comes up behind Mourning and fouled him. Did you see what Mourning did after that? He just kind of brushed right up against Abdelnaby. I mean, he is a freshman, but that is simply a title. This is a guy who plays like a veteran who's going to have a long career in the NBA as Leitner checks back in.
You know, think about something, Brent. In regard of his experience, he went to the Olympic trials. He had an opportunity to play there against all the outstanding players from last year, including David Robinson. Went with the team over to Europe, which had an opportunity to work out all summer. Did not make the Olympic team. Would have if he wasn't a rising freshman in college, in my opinion. But he's had a lot of experience since he left high school against the very best in the country.
Billy, we saw a picture of Jaron Jackson, the veteran starter. He's handling the ball. He checked back in. This is on that shot. And Henderson controls for Duke. 3:39. Game is tied at 31. Leitner outside. Second time for the perimeter for him.
I'll tell you, he made that play for Duke on the other end of the floor with a great block out on Alonzo Mourning.
And Alonso glares at the referee as he heads back down the floor. Ferry taking Alonso on the inside. Alonso trying to brush him off and get him away. Ferry school watching the NBA players, knows a little about hand checking. They get it over now to Jackson. The battle underneath won by the Hoyas. Jackson trying to squeeze it, gets it over to Jefferson, and a foul underneath on Duke. That's the first on Bricky.
And I'm surprised there was no 3-second call on that play. Mike Krzyzewski is too. He's talking to officials on the sidelines. Everybody was camped and they didn't get a shot off. So the game is very well officiated though today. I mean, because you're talking about fellas playing up above the rim, full 94 feet.
Yeah, played at this level, basketball is not a tough game to officiate. It's an impossible game to officiate.
A lot of physical bodies out there.
The man who learned at the knee of one Bobby Knight, played for him at West Point, later was an assistant at Indiana, and has set up one of the best basketball programs in the country at Duke. He has challenged Michelangelo, Dean Smith in North Carolina. And they have done some job down along Tobacco Road in this decade.
You know, Jefferson might be quiet at Georgetown, but he was a high school All-American, played at Flint Hill with Dennis Scott, went down to Georgia Tech. Good move.
Leitner coming left hand layup. That's 10 points for Leitner against Mourning and the Hoyas.
He shocked Alonso and going by him using that left hand. I wasn't trying to over-tout the guy when I said he will be an All-American before he gets out of there. He's that caliber of player. Duke is going out there in that four corners.
They're going right with him.
They sure are. It amazes me because it would seem that they're overmatched. Particularly now here you have a Tillman matchup with Bricky, and Tillman should have an advantage here.
Jefferson brings it out, and they leave him alone.
7 seconds. You want Charles Smith with that ball.
Leitner was staying back to help on Mourning. Ferry gets Mourning out away from the glass, but it's Jefferson on the inside, and there's a foul. Two-shot foul, I believe, was the call underneath, and that's the second personal on Bricky.
One of the things that happens when Charles Smith gets the ball, obviously everyone knows within 10 seconds he's going to take it to the hoop. Duke trying to double team, the other three fellas not having a chance to block out. Solid performance by Jefferson so far with 5 big rebounds.
John has been able to find the right player at the right time on his bench in this tournament. That has been so important for him. Jonathan Edwards with only 1 field goal, and it was a big one against North Carolina State the other night.
Well, Brent, think about the other coaches. Steve Fisher, getting the right guys in the game at the right time. P.J. Carlissimo yesterday with Ramos in trouble. That's part of getting to that Final Four, making those right pulls.
There's Ferry off the dribble. Mourning. Bricky came back, and Bricky is fouled, and he's upset. Mourning and Bricky. And this may have started a time ago when we showed you that baseline tussle on the replay. And Jonathan Edwards is going to check back into the game.
Here we see Bricky going up. No reason for him to be upset at all there. But Alonso's always going to get those arms swinging, and so is Bricky. Good job by Jefferson to step in. What's so dangerous now, Brent? In the NCAA tournament play, not only would you get thrown out of this game, but you would miss the next one. That's the killer penalty. Because the fighting rule continues in the tournament.
This is going to be misconstrued, but I'll say it anyway. I don't think Alonzo Mourning's a cheap shot.
Oh, I don't either. Not at all.
I think he is a tough warrior, and he's young. He gets a little carried away out there. I think he's a great talent. He just has to grow up a little bit, because what's going to happen is a player so much more inferior is going to pick a fight with him, and they're both going to get kicked out of a game. is going to be enormously more important to his team. That's an old tactic.
To be quite honest with you, I'm surprised it has not happened before.
36-35. Duke leading. Smith bringing it down, and Snyder has been pounding him.
They've got a jump defense right now with Danny Ferry coming out to double team the ball.
Billy,
are you playing Jefferson?
Are you surprised Mutombo didn't go back in?
Now John may be looking for a little stability here the last minute of the half, knowing Mutombo may try something crazy out.
Gets a shot. Not there. Henderson with Smith out, hustles him, and the foul is on Henderson. And now Smith and Henderson exchange words over here on the sideline.
Now there's a case. Just everybody calming things down. Jonathan Edwards right there showed why he's in there that last minute. He calmed all his teammates down. Mrs. Smith wanted to make sure her boy gets some more of that hot tea. She doesn't need this action. Charles gave him a little elbow there at the end, huh?
Well, Henderson was complaining that his arm was wedged in between Smith's body and his arm, and he couldn't get away from it.
I like that trick. That's been done before.
You probably did that at Wake Forest.
Only against guys that I knew couldn't whip me.
Well, it's really been the intensity of this game, and I must say that with a minute to go, probably both teams could use a little break here before we get ready for the second half. This has been an unbelievable pace for both John Thompson's Hoyas and Mike Krzyzewski's Blue Devils, neither team backing away. And that's an important thing to consider when you play Georgetown. Sure. They play you tough and physical, and the only way is to look them straight in the eye and say, we'll play that way too. I mean, that's just the way it is athletically, and I don't think anybody should make any great big headline deal out of it. It's been a great game. 101, 36-35. Here's Smith at the line. Jonathan's got a big one.
Wide, he's done. Pull the right switch.
That answers my question.
There it is. A lot of it has to do with feel. He does not coach by system as much as he does by feel, but sometimes you got to get lucky too.
Now it's Ferry off the dribble again, missing. Ricky with an offensive rebound. Wanted Leitner, and there's a foul on the inside. Jonathan Edwards hooked him.
Probably not a bad foul for Georgetown, because now they can sit in their four corners and hold it for the last shot of the half. Christian Leitner can certainly remember what it's like with little time remaining going to that foul line. The game against Arizona, he had a chance to hit the one-on-one, missed the front end, and their only loss in this building.
Red Quebec is in the game for Robert Ricky. Christian Leitner will shoot.
Christian Leitner. That's quite a name to be playing on Easter Sunday with, isn't it? Tied at 37. You saw some faces over on that bench. They were tremendous high school players, and they don't get off the pines much for Coach Thompson. That's how deep he is. As Leitner hits the free throws here at the 35-second mark.
Now you'll see the four corners now by Georgetown, as John puts actually four guards in the game. So there'll be a definite mismatch here for somebody.
Now, Krzyzewski's defense has been superb the last 5 minutes. Only one field goal for Georgetown during that time.
And Mike Krzyzewski does what I anticipated earlier. He went to the zone. No sense playing the four corners man-to-man and getting burned. So he goes zone with a matchup 2-3. Takes away that advantage Charles Smith would have in the last 10 seconds. They're looking for Charles Smith going to the corner.
Tillman bangs the three in as time runs out in the first half. John Thompson's Hoyas take a 40-38 lead on Duke. Danny Ferry with 7 points in the first half. Leitner had to lead the way with 12. And CBS Sports coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
CBS
CBS Sports coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship Regional Final Game is sponsored by the Good Time, Great Taste of McDonald's. Wang Laboratories, Wang makes it work. And by Reebok basketball shoes. When the new legends are made, they'll be wearing Reeboks.
Feel your pulse pounding, your temperature rise.
Hot looks, high performance, and a whole lot of driving excitement. That's Pontiac Sunbird.
Yeah, riding Pontiac. Get on the Pontiac and ride. Pontiac ride.
And now, with up to $900 cash back for qualified first-time buyers, Sunbird more than fits your budget. Check it out.
Rebuild exciting, man.
Imagine a game with over 70 million prizes. Enough for 1 out of 3 people to win. Introducing Scrabble at McDonald's. Just collect the right game pieces and spell the winning words, or win instantly a delicious Big Mac, a refreshing Sprite, or $1 million. And that could change your whole life. Play Scrabble at McDonald's. In a word, you can win.
You're looking sharp. You're looking good. You've come so far. And we know how to make the most of who you are. Father to son. It's what we've always done. Gillette.
The Gillette Atra Plus system with the Lubra Smooth strip for the best a man can get.
BASF videotape. No matter how many times you play it, we'll play it again. Even after 500 plays, the original brilliance always comes through on BASF.
He's got the world at his fingertips, and he's ready to make a pass at the new nanny, but she's well guarded. It's hard to live with temptation on Live In. That's good growing on love and laughter in America's Heartland.
All right.
Live In Heartland, Monday starting at 8.
This is CBS.
There's a lot of concern about the U.S. trade deficit. It became a problem because items such as foreign luxury cars were considered a good value by Americans. Yet today, the facts are very different. Foreign car prices have skyrocketed, and American quality has never been higher. Yet Americans still spend billions of dollars on foreign luxury cars. The bottom line, if you're in the market for a luxury car, you can be part of the solution or part of the problem.
Smooth rock, smooth jazz, not many commercials. I like this station. And it's great driving music. 95.5. Come on, come on.
Final battle for Seattle. It's Georgetown up 2 on Duke in the East Regional Final. And James, what a difference a day makes. Just yesterday, Michigan posting the largest margin of victory in a regional final, not only in this decade, but in 20 years. Follow that up with a thumping by Seton Hall on UNLV, which was the 4th largest margin of victory in a regional final in this decade in 39 matchups. And then you come to today, Syracuse and Illinois. It goes down to the wire. It appears that Georgetown and Duke are destined for the same kind of finish.
And I'd expect the second half of the Georgetown-Duke game to be just like the first half. Georgetown taking full advantage of his quickness by spreading the offensive end and getting some good offensive moves. But the best intangible in the first half was that Duke did not back down from Georgetown when they got physical with him.
All right, James, in case you missed it, let's show you how Illinois held on against Syracuse, and let's hear it for Lou Henson. Becomes one of 9 coaches to steer 2 schools to the Final Four. He took New Mexico State to the Final Four in 1970. Here we are in the final minute with Illinois up 3 on Syracuse. Sherman Douglas looking around, throws it away. And now Jim Boeheim's team will pick it up a little while later, down 1, as Marcus Liberty misses the front end of a 1-and-1. Kendall Gill rebounds. Douglas fouls out and puts Kenny Battle on the line. Battle would hit both free throws to make the margin 3 at that point for Illinois. Desperation time. Stevie Thompson's 3, a misfire. Illinois rebounds, and the Illini heading to the Final Four for the first time since 1952. And we can tell you now, this is how it shapes up in Seattle. To this moment, Michigan and Illinois will meet in one national semifinal, while Seton Hall awaits the winner of this Georgetown-Duke contest. And again, Michigan and Illinois, obviously from the Big Ten. Illinois has won 6 of the last 7 matchups against the Wolverines, including 2 for 2 this year. In both games, Illinois beat Michigan by more than 10 points.
I think Illinois is going to be hard-pressed to beat Michigan right now the same way they did in the first 2 games. Michigan right now seems to be a team on a mission, that is. They really want Steve Fisher in that slot, and they're playing well. They're going to need another good hot shooting game from Glenn Rice like they did against Virginia. I still think, though, that Illinois is a team to beat.
Well, they look tough today. James, when we come back, we're going to put our Curry Kirkpatrick at the free throw line as we bounce our way on the road to the Final Four.
Getting through college can be a pretty tough climb. To succeed, you need money, and you need the right abilities. You can find them both in the Army. If you qualify, you could earn more than $25,000 with the GI Bill and the Army College Fund. And you could develop the confidence, judgment, and self-discipline it takes to make it to the top, in college and beyond.
Play the 7-Up final match game. All the excitement of college basketball. Every 5 seconds, someone's bottle cap can instantly score free 7-Up or the chance to win $10,000 if they match that final championship-winning score. Hurry and take your shot.
The Honda Lawnmower. It was first with a convenient blade brake clutch, with an automotive-type shaft drive, with an easy-starting overhead valve engine. It's the first mower good enough to be a Honda.
You know, despite all the pretty moves and highlight shots you might see, basketball is a game of fundamentals, and free throw shooting is one of the foremost. Now, unfortunately, as Curry Kirkpatrick reports, it's becoming somewhat of a lost art. And so our man Curry has stepped up to the line, offering a very modest proposal to rectify the situation.
He's right.
Can't you throw anything but brick?
You know, he's right. I have thrown a lot of bricks in my day. I've also missed a lot of free throws. But I'm not the only one that can't shoot the basketball these days. Can you believe the clangers these guys have been heaving up there in this tournament? Why, even Steve Henson has caught the rock thrower's disease. It's an old familiar illness. Bad foul shooting has doomed more than one championship.
Smart takes the shot, and the Hoosiers with 3 seconds. Go ahead.
What's a coach to do? Cry, pray, answer an advertisement? When a team is sick, take one timeout and call the doctor in the morning. Dr. J? No, the shot doctor, Ernie Hobby. Ernie Hobby?
People say blow air out. Take a deep breath, do this. I tell the players, stay at the top of the key. Don't get in there too soon. Get your arms loose, relax, and don't focus on anything but what you know you can do.
Thompson takes the shot, misses badly.
A coach's misery elicits all kinds of bizarre suggestions.
So we do get a lot of mail, mostly psychological things, people that want to talk to us and psychoanalyze us and hypnotize us. I don't think about it anymore. I don't talk about it. I don't think about it. And, you know, it hasn't changed anything. We still keep missing them.
Poor Jerry Tarkanian. Forget doctors. He went the mystic route and did order up a hypnotist.
It was on Valentine's Day. He said, well, I want y'all to go see the hypnotist. And I said, Coach, I got to take my girl out. He said, no, you got to go to the hypnotist. I already made the appointment. I said, well, all right, I'll do it.
The bottom line is the team should have the right guy at the right time on the foul line, namely me.
So with his team's fortunes on the line, Curry Kirkpatrick is going to the free throw line to shoot 1-1, has to make both Phil Raftery for his team to win, and he's got a lot of fear showing in those eyes from where I could see.
Well, Dick, I would want to predicate our living on this guy making the free throws. I mean, he is maybe one of the poorest in the country. He throws up enough bricks to build a condo.
right. This is Curry Kirkpatrick, still practicing till the cows come home.
He missed the canyon, he missed the barn. James, you have a few free throw stories back from your playing days at Harvard?
Well, actually, there was a guy from my hometown who was on the free throw line. Not a bad free throw shooter. He actually faked it. We were standing in the line, and I kind of fell forward and just right on my face. A bad part of the move.
I think I would have qualified for Syracuse's team the way my illustrious high school career went.
It would have been interesting if, in fact, Curry said, hey, I can't throw it in the ocean, to see if he would have missed the ocean, and that would have been a tough one.
Tough one to miss. James, next Saturday, 5 o'clock Eastern Time, the countdown at the Kingdome. We will be there. That's the pregame show before the national semifinals. We know already that at 5:30, we will have one of two games, Michigan against Illinois or the Seton Hall game against the Georgetown Duke winner. Those times have not been set to this point. And then next Sunday, we will have the women's championship game from the Tacoma Dome. That gets started at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. And then on Monday night, April the 3rd, the men's national championship game from the Kingdome in Seattle, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Well, we're ready to find out who will grab the final spot to Seattle. Duke and Georgetown with the Hoyas up 2. We'll send you back to Brent and Billy for the second half after this message and a word from your local stations.
BMW 3 Series. It's why some enthusiasts are more enthusiastic than others.
Express mail from your post office has a whole fleet of 727.
We deliver.
A guaranteed morning delivery.
We deliver.
And an overnight price of just $8.75.
We deliver.
Speed, convenience, price. It's a package only we can deliver. Express mail from your postal service.
We deliver for you.
You know what? My dad bought a new car. So did mine. My dad got a V8. My dad got a V12. My dad got a sunroof. My dad got a convertible. My dad got a CD player. My dad got a car phone. My dad got Michelin. Michelin? Well, my mom's prettier than your mom.
Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
I've tried it. Now I believe it. Denorex Tingles tells me it's doing more. Head and Shoulders, no tingle.
Both have dandruff medicine, but Denorex adds both an extra anti-itch medicine and conditioner, too.
Goodbye, Head and Shoulders. Hello, Denorex.
This is CBS.
Let me tell you what I mean by the future value of money. Take the difference between a $65,000 foreign luxury car and a $25,000 Cadillac. Invest that $40,000 in tax-free municipal bonds at a little over 7% interest. In 10 years, you'll have about $80,000. Now that's what I call investment potential.
Even the Germans can't keep a lid on a better beer. Heilemann Special Export.
Morgan Fairchild with the next Arsenio.
Regional final game is sponsored by Mazda Cars and Trucks, including the all-new Mazda MPV. Allstate for home, auto, and life insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate. And by Gillette and the Gillette Afro Plus shaving system. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Well, at the half, it's a two-point game with Georgetown leading Duke 40-38. Billy Backer, we talked about one of the keys being how Georgetown would handle Danny Ferry defensively. So far, they've done an excellent job.
They have done a fine job with it. Danny Ferry's been forced to the outside because his teammates weren't hitting against that zone. One of the things, Brent, they did against him was the boxed and one. Well, let's take a look at what it really represents. 4 Georgetown players playing in a box area with Jaren Jackson playing Danny Ferry. Now, watch what happens when Ferry Perry moves out of that area. Then he goes to the corner. Jaren Jackson stays with him. Now you have Jackson one-on-one out here, but the Georgetown players still back in that box defense, and it's been very effective for him when they used it, as was the zone.
Well, Perry was held to 3 of 9. Christian Leitner held up very well against Alonzo Mourning, and off the bench, John Thompson getting incredible production, 25 points and 9 rebounds. Leitner the leading scorer, Tillman leading the Hoyas with 10 points. As for today's blockade, Alonzo Mourning leading the way with 3 blocks, and Dikembe Mutombo with 1. And we get set for the second half.
Brett, that bench scoring that Georgetown has such a big advantage is kind of unusual for Duke, too, because they've gotten about 27 points a game off their bench throughout the course of this season.
Bryant back on the floor with 3 fouls. Jefferson, who played well off the bench, gets a chance to start. Smith gets inside of Snyder.
With that great leaner of his. How many times have we seen Sherman Douglas and Charles Smith throughout their careers, great careers they've been, make that leaner?
Now Perry opens up with a quick field goal in the second half. 9 points for the game.
Alonzo kind of annoyed with that when they didn't get over there to make the block. He normally is tough on that weak side.
Mourning out high to pick, rolls off it. They go Smith. It's a 2.
Charles Smith lit it up in the second half against Notre Dame. Off to a good start here.
Henderson punches in low. Mourning was there on Perry.
He said from the weak side, he's so tough to get a shot off against. Danny Perry's going to have to look for the pass on that play.
The 3 is short. Perry rebound.
Slower pace here to start the second half.
Here comes Leitner in on Mourning for the layup. 14 points for Leitner.
Alonzo really respects him. You notice how he didn't challenge that layup?
They wanted it. Deflected Bricky. Back to Jackson. Over to Bryant. And it'll go out of bounds. Duke's ball. Leitner apparently injured his wrist, and Ala Abdelnaby replaces him.
Mark Tillman is in for Dwayne Bryant.
Bryant goes out. John Thompson telling him on the way out, I want more movement from you. Tillman, who had a very, very good first half. And remember, Bryant's got 3 fouls on him.
As Leitner has tended to on the Duke bench, Thompson is telling Smith to try and pick up Snyder, and Perry comes out and screens for him. Snyder goes in, Abdelnaby can't rebound, and now Smith bolts out for the Hoyas. 3-on-1, middle man Jefferson. He misses it, long rebound to Snyder, but Mourning is back. Bricky breaks with Snyder, and he'll have to pull it out.
Good defense by Jackson.
Perry takes the 3. Push. And underneath, the pushing foul called against Abdelnaby. That's his 3rd personal foul.
Not a very wise call by Ala, just using the hands to push his man under the basket. He needs to move those feet a little bit.
Leitner just leaned over to Krzyzewski and said, Coach, I'm all right. So with 3 fouls, you can expect Duke's leading scorer to come back in the game soon. 44-42. Georgetown. Leitner is up. He'll be back in on the next dead ball. Tillman on a run.
Oh, he's been so tough.
Scoring. The foul. You put the basket down and send him to the free throw line. He scored 12. And it's an offensive foul on the play.
Tillman doing a great job today. Hit that 3 right before the end of the half. There's another one of those leaners. They call the offensive foul, but give him the basket. John Thompson getting great play off the bench. Leitner in.
Perry again in the backcourt, helping Snyder bring it up. Very deep. Mourning trying hard to get over and help Turner. That's 11 points for Danny Perry, and he starts to heat up here in the second half. Smith is picked off and
hurt his
fouled.
ankle again.
And that was Snyder, his 2nd personal foul, and he begins to limp again on that painful, injured left ankle.
Brent, it's kind of interesting. John Thompson is such a good student of the game, and he sees as soon as Turner comes in the game, Ferry goes inside, and he plays too big for Turner. And they go to that lob. That's where Jefferson did a nice job taking that lob away.
One combination is Matumbo and Mourning together in this situation. Jackson left alone, misfiring, yanked off by Snyder. Duke with a chance to tie. It's Henderson.
Alonzo got hit in the eyes and did not run down the court. He's annoyed right now. He got a shot on that last rebound exchange.
And Matumbo will replace Mourning, who did not want to go out.
Alonzo thinking some guys taking some cheap shots at him. I didn't see the altercation, but he got hit evidently in the eye, definitely in the face.
We're tied at 46, inside of 17 minutes. Smith into 3 Blue Devils, and it's against Georgetown.
Well, the most impressive stat that Danny Ferry has in my estimation is he leads his team in charges taken. That's something for an All-American.
Timeout in the Meadowlands.
Finding a luxury car whose owners reported fewer problems than owners of Acura Legend could be a challenge until you get a good look at Mazda 929. It has more standard luxury features, like an automatic transmission, alarm system, and moonroof, yet it's priced $680 less. And while we've known all this for quite some time, we thought we'd clear the air for you.
See your Mazda dealer for a special 929 lease offer. Hurry, ends March 31st.
I need you back.
Let's talk.
Employment rose a fraction of a percentage point last month. The Labor Department oil price increase to take effect.
Consumer price index jumped 0.6%.
Fear of inflation caused jitters in the financial market.
Volatility, uncertainty, the unknown. Helping people reach their financial dreams requires an understanding of each person's goals. At Merrill Lynch, we pride ourselves on getting to know you, one by one. Merrill Lynch, a tradition of trust.
It started with 48 of the nation's best. Next weekend, it'll be down to 2. The NCAA Women's Basketball Championship next Sunday on CBS Sports.
Billy, this is how Mourning suffered that injury.
You're going to see Christian Laettner putting the elbow there on the block out. He comes back up with it and hits Alonzo right in the face.
Now Duke bringing it up against the Hoyas. Score tied at 46. Laettner into Ferry's hand. Nice assist by the center.
Good square up by Danny Ferry. Duke fundamentally sound there. Normally you catch the ball, your feet aren't ready to make the shot.
Danny Ferry is Duke's present. Christian Laettner is its future. Laettner yanks one away. Lead outlet. Here comes Ricky.
Brent, this is a gut check game. Of all the games we've seen this year, I don't think I've seen teams called upon to show what kind of men they were like in this game. And Georgetown wants to slow things down a little bit. This is a bad shot.
And he hits it. It's a 2-point game at 15:39. And Turner's first field goal of the afternoon. Now it's Duke's turn.
Brent, the reason I thought that'd be a bad shot because Turner looked like he wanted to shoot it as soon as he caught it.
A 2 for Ferry, and he is warming to the task in the second half. And Mourning quickly returns for Thompson and the Hoyas. So, like all big men who have stood out, he assumes the role of the villain as some of the boos come cascading down, and he should accept that as a tremendous compliment. 1 spot left in Seattle. A Big Ten matchup. Will it also be a Big East? And then the winners meet on a truly big Monday? We'll find out.
And John goes back to his little four corners, trying to occupy and take Duke out of this great run they have by slowing down momentum. You can see John over there telling his team, I just want to slow this game down. So many ways to take away tempo.
Ferry sealing up the front of Mourning, and Leitner is behind him, and they can't punch it in, so Turner takes a runner.
Great play by Turner. He recognized that Danny Ferry was not guarding him. 2 plays in a row, he goes for the score.
Leitner's open momentarily, comes right back, and it's a bad pass out of bounds. The Hoyas with a chance to tie it.
Right here we'll see, Brent. John Turner recognizes, hey, Danny Ferry's not anywhere near me. Makes 2 great plays. About a junior college All-American. 2 smart plays. Now Ferry getting on him a little better now.
Turner to Smith. Smith hits it and ties the score at 14-25. That's our 8th tie here in the Meadowlands in this Eastern Regional Championship. Snyder on a rub-off, tries to get past Smith. Bounce for Bricky. Saved by Hoyas. Loose. Leitner gets it back. They hit Snyder. Comes up high and gets it to fall over Mourning. His first field goal of the second half.
Christian Leitner, though, again, Brent, coming up with a great steal. It's been everywhere today. They switch men. Now Leitner is on Turner. Ferry goes back on Alonzo.
And Ferry scratches and claws in front of Mourning. And Leitner off the miss. So they are keeping Mourning occupied. They come across the Ferry. Dumps in Bricky. Jump hook. Tapped back in by Henderson.
See if John Thompson says to slow it down again in the 4 corners. He wants to take the great momentum Duke has away from him.
Billy, he's got to find a way to get Mourning involved offensively. Here comes Smith on a glider. Tosses it up, and Ferry yanks it away into Snyder's hands.
Both teams very tired right now. Duke wanting to run.
And away from the ball, it's on Turner, his first personal. That's the 3rd foul on the Hoyas this half. 2 team fouls on Duke.
Brent, here's where we start talking about a foul away from the ball. Turner trying to go right through Henderson. When a man sets the screen, you got to go around him. Smith sitting down.
Right. And Thompson sends Jefferson back. Alonzo Mourning has not scored for Georgetown since the 7-minute mark of the first half.
I think it's a great substitution by John Thompson with regard to Charles Smith. The kid's been out sick. He's trying to do it all himself right now, and gave him a little rest.
Now, this is a different 5. Thompson searching for a different alignment. Does not have Mutombo or Edwards out there. He's gone with Jefferson down low, and he has Turner out here on Henderson. So we have not seen this alignment against Duke.
But then you get the ball to Henderson.
And Ferry got in behind him and drew the foul from Jefferson.
That alignment, and what happened is Georgetown didn't realize who they were guarding that time, and the Henderson won't work. John will have to change things.
Billy, what do you think about Mourning coming out and this alignment going?
Well, it really confused. They were prepared for Charles to go out, they being the players on the floor, but they didn't expect Alonzo out of there, so they got caught in mismatches.
16 points against Thompson and Smith, and the rest of the Hoyas have come this half. It's a 6-point Duke lead, 58-52. Jackson coming into the paint area, and a blocking foul is called before the shot. Blocking foul is on Ferry on the inside, his 2nd personal. Team's 3rd.
That was created because John Smith called upon to guard the quicker Jaren Jackson. Couldn't get out in time. Left Danny Ferry back there all by himself with nothing to do but try to draw the charge.
Jackson with the inbound. He spins with the jumper. And goes and gets the rebound, but there's a whistle underneath, and it goes against Duke. This one is on Smith, his 2nd.
Mike Krzyzewski just trying to get a couple of minutes out of John Smith and Abdelnaby here before he comes back with Bricky and Leighton. He knows his bench has not contributed today with a lot of points, but he needs some minutes because of the fatigue factor. Duke goes zone, 2-3 zone now. Showed it a little bit in the first half.
Abdelnaby takes Jefferson on the inside. Hoyas at the perimeter. Jackson will come to the top. They punch to Jefferson, and he gets it into Turner. Turner not there. Tillman charges, but Ferry comes away.
Good senior leadership by Snyder on that play. Not trying to push it inside too soon.
Jefferson quickly doubles up on Ferry and finds, and that's goaltending on Turner. I'm not so sure the basket would have gone in anyway, but Turner jumped up, ended up against the glass, and take a look at it, it was goaltending.
I thought Ferry walked on the play before this, doing a lot of pivoting there, and a good play by Henderson to go inside. Not the same when Alonso's not in there, Brent.
Smith off the Hoyas bench. But still no sign of Mourning. And it's 60-52. It's an 8-point lead by Duke.
Rested Charles Smith. Expect him to try to explode here offensively.
Bryant coming inside was fouled by Henderson.
Henderson loves to come from behind after you beat him with that block.
Ricky returning for the Blue Devils. And Winston will check in for Georgetown.
Tell you something, tomorrow morning, which is Easter Monday, there will be some sore, tired bodies on these two clubs. Somebody will be very, very happy, and somebody will be very sad, as is always the case.
So the Hoyas continuing without either Mourning or Mutombo in this alignment. Winston on a run. Ferry yanks it away. They're going to need some size underneath. It's 60-52. And Mourning is up.
But John could not wait any longer. Duke goes to a double low. Surprise Ferry doesn't get down in the low post with Bobby Winston on him. Winston won't be able. There he is.
Pass in. The foul was called against Winston as Mourning prepares to check in. At the 11:15 mark, he'll return. And the Hoyas trailing by 8, 60-52. Turner sits down. This is Duke's biggest lead of this regional championship. Last chance for the ACC to be represented out in Seattle next week. Duke has out-rebounded Georgetown this half, 9-4.
Now, Alonso is matched up with Abdelnaby, playing his one-man zone down inside. Abdelnaby have to recognize that.
Missing. Rebound into Mourning's hands. Now it's Bryant. Deflected on the shot. Duke's ball. Here's Snyder. Lead to Ferry. Has it on a runner. Hits Bricky the open.
Great block!
Free. Beautiful block.
Charles Smith took away 2.
Back into his hands at the other end, and he tosses in the layup.
That may have been, Brent, one of the key plays of this game.
They punch into Abdelnaby. Pump fakes on Mourning over the top, misfires. Here's Bryant. Bryant leads Mourning down the floor. Winston in the corner. Will bring it back out. Jefferson bangs in the jump shot.
I'm out Duke here.
That is 8 points for Jefferson off the Hoyas bench. The lead is down to 4. Take a look at this block by Smith.
This may be the play of this game. Duke on a roll, a chance to really build that lead, and Smitty makes the block. Goes the other way for 2.
And Mother loves it.
Looking for a great truck or a great truck deal needn't be a challenge. Mazda trucks have been rated the most reliable truck sold in America. The Mazda warranty is the best in the truck business. And right now, you can really clean up. With $750 cash back from Mazda on all our trucks. $750 in cold, hard, wet cash.
See your local Mazda dealer today and get $750 cash back on all trucks.
You're looking sharp. You're looking good. You've come so far. And we know how to make the most of who you are. Where the race is run, you're the champion. Gillette.
The Gillette Atra Plus system with the Lubra Smooth Strip for the best a man can get.
Property wasn't the only thing shaken by the explosion in Henderson, Nevada.
It was really scary. Twice, I believe, I was blown off the ground.
I opened my front door, and when I saw the condition of my house, I just started crying.
Which is why Allstate moved in so quickly, assessed damage, and provided immediate relief.
Immediately, I had a check in my hand.
It is a secure feeling to know that you have an insurance company that does take care of you.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
A member of the Sears Financial Network.
Well, Duke carved out its lead here in the second half because of that field goal shooting, but the main man, Alonzo Mourning, is back in. He has not been assessed a single personal foul in this game. So you would think that he can go the distance. He's also rested. Ferry sat out 1 minute in the first half. This is Leitner, who has played extremely well and held up all game long so far.
Ferry's got Bobby Winston on him. He wants the ball in the low post.
Snyder's three. Not there. Out of bounds, hit last by Georgetown. Duke's ball.
Quinn Snyder, not a good three-point shooter. He's only hitting 28% on the year, although he takes them. It was kind of unusual to see him take one at that point with Winston on Danny Ferry down inside.
It's the only part of his game that has suffered as he replaced Amaker as the team leader. His shooting has not been as good as it was when he played more off guard for Coach Krzyzewski. This is Henderson with that quick first stepping slam. And goes up over the top.
Best way to go against his shot blocker. Take the ball to him.
Loose, run down by the Hoyas.
The Leitner matchup with Mourning inside is really awesome.
And Snyder going out fouls Bryant. Here is that in-your-face jam.
Well, Henderson is a great leaper, as is Dricky, as is Snyder. And that's the best way to take a shot blocker when he's inside. You can draw the foul better if you take it to him than try to keep it cute pie. And that was one right down the pipe. Fans are reacting here in the arena. Ricky tried it earlier on a fast break today and put it off the back of the board.
Henderson out on Bryant. Bryant gets around him and goes to the jump shot. Underneath, and it's a rebound for Leitner. His 8th of the game. Lead to Bricky. He would have gone up for the jam, but he couldn't quite get to the pass.
And Brent, at this time in the game, only up 6. You're better off with possession than trying to go for the home run. Mike Krzyzewski told Snyder on that play, take it easy. There's an elbow inside, and that's going to be against Alonzo. He hit it.
Thompson is furious.
John's wrong on that one, and we'll see it with the replay. Alonzo threw the elbow right in Leitner's face. We'll see it coming up right here.
His first personal.
And Ferry stays
6-3-5.
He got it.
The first personal against Mourning. It's 62-56. Now Leitner whispering in his left ear as he takes him. And Leitner rubs off Jefferson. I mean, it is tough underneath.
Ferry's going to go inside. He's got this play made.
Jump shot baseline miss. Mourning loses the handle. Out of bounds. Duke's ball. That's one of the few times I have seen Alonzo Mourning juggle a ball. His hands are so soft. Normally when he touches it like that, it's his.
But what may be happening to Danny Ferry? He realized he's got such a height advantage on Bobby Winston. He's a little bit too anxious to put the shot up.
Leitner looks in and goes to the floor. And he was fouled. He'll come up to that free throw line. That's 2 quick ones on Mourning.
some talent here. One of the highly recruited players in the country last year, and not only Alonzo Mourning, but Christian Laettner.
Alonzo Mourning is rattled, and Charles Smith, you got a quick glimpse of him in that huddle. He was addressing his words at Mourning. They have to get him settled down for the stretch. Jefferson will sit down. So Smith applies leadership as well as generalship and shooting ability.
What John Thompson said about him, 10 quarts of heart and 1 pint of body.
Mourning is not accustomed to another freshman playing as strongly as Christian Laettner has for Mike Krzyzewski and the Blue Devils here today. 8:27, and Laettner makes it 16 points. It's 64-56 Blue Devils. Winston into the paint, short on the layup. Laettner's rebound. Ferry off the double back to Snyder, who passes it up, and Laettner from the perimeter hits another one. It's a 10-point lead. Inside of 8 minutes, Thompson wants a timeout.
American business can save millions of dollars every year with the UPS Next Day Air letter. Unlike other companies which frequently charge up to $14, UPS, because we're so efficient, charges only $8.50. And we guarantee overnight delivery to every address, coast to coast. The UPS Next Day Air letter, the super saver of overnight letters.
Most personal computers are like a 2-lane highway, which is fine until there's so much information, even important data, gets stuck. But you can have more lanes for information in your system right now with an IBM invention called microchannel in many IBM Personal System 2 computers. It's putting an end to roadblocks and speed limits, so you'll be going places faster today and down the road. When you're thinking ahead, you're thinking IBM Personal System 2.
Beating the Honda Prelude could be a challenge, but look at it this way. This sporty Mazda MX-6 beats it by over $2,500. Its warranty covers you for an additional 14,000 miles. MX-6 has far more room inside. And right now, it comes with $750 cash back from Mazda. How's that for a good reason to make the move to Mazda?
See your local Mazda dealer today and get $750 cash back on MX-6.
Toughest job in the world, maybe, being a big-time coach's wife. You can't do anything. Becky Krzyzewski can only watch as her husband manipulates, and what a performance he's getting from Christian Laettner, who had his worst moment of the year in this same arena, Billy.
He did. He missed the front end of a one-on-one against Arizona. And former President Nixon said to him, son, I don't remember the one you missed, only those 6 that you made in that game.
Missed by the Hoyas. Duke's ball again. They're up by 10. 7:40 to go, and a layup for Laettner.
Great thinking by Quinn Snyder. And Alonzo Mourning, Brent, you made a great point. He's kind of in a fog right now. He needs to get back in this game mentally. Just didn't get back down court quickly. 4 corners by Georgetown. And again, John Thompson trying to take the emotion out of the game for a minute or two.
He yelled 14. Shot clock is down now to 14, and here they go. And they sealed up Smith, but the foul is called against Duke.
What Mike Krzyzewski is going to do on the 4 corners, he is not going to guard Turner. Therefore, he'll always have a double-team man on the guard that breaks free on the inside.
That is a big foul on Snyder. His 4th personal. When he was out in the first half, Georgetown put on one of his most impressive runs. This is a big loss for Duke.
And what do you think John will do right here? I wouldn't be surprised if he puts the press on, because Henderson has got to be the primary ball handler along with Ferry. Next time down the floor, if they go that 4 corners, keep an eye. John took Turner out of the ball game because he recognized what Mike was doing. So see if Mike Krzyzewski tries to change up.
Now it's back to a 10-point margin.
Here's the press.
Replacing John Turner.
And as they show press, with Turner is going to replace Morning at the 7:02 mark.
That's just a quickie. He's going right back in. He won't let him in at this point.
You know, one of the things that Morning is experiencing here today, probably his first taste of booze. I don't remember at any place we have been, and we've seen him on the road. It's an unfortunate thing for a college athlete to be booed, but someone as good as he is going to be had better get used to it.
Well, I think they're very unfortunate in this case because he has just played a hard-nosed ball game.
Ricky spinning. And Ferry on the outside with Morning tracking him, and Ferry takes him to the paint. It's 70-58.
Now John can afford to go into a patient game.
Morning on the inside of Leitner, and that's who they've got to get involved. 10-point difference. They've got 6:26. And they hit Henderson on the break. They are keeping Morning outside right now.
The reason for that, Brent, he's matched up with Danny Ferry. See, and this was the matchup we talked at the top of the game. Ferry can play on the perimeter. Alonso can't be tied up with him.
If he's going to keep Morning out there, he'd be better off with Mutombo down in the paint. Now they punch the Morning inside. Comes up, and he was fouled.
Asking a lot of a freshman to go to him at the go-to time here with 5 minutes to go.
Two foul put by Danny Ferry.
And if you're Mike Krzyzewski, you're thinking about Quinn Snyder over there, you want to keep him out as long as you can go, maybe to the 3-minute mark.
Billy, watching Alonso, who do you think it was, the first coach who said there's a good-looking woman on every street corner of the United States, but a shot-blocking big man is awful hard to find?
I don't know, but there's a lot of coaches that would agree. Was it Dave Pritchett? Was that in that program?
Yeah.
With Dave Pritchett, one of the all-time guys on the road, did a great job for Lefty Driesell as an assistant coach, but no stone unturned. Great comment.
Just inside of 6 minutes. Turner is in, and
what John is trying to do here is Turner working the press better than Alonso does, and then he'll try to get Alonso in on the offensive end of the court.
Boy, he never would have taken Patrick Ewing out of a press situation. He'd have put him back there in the center, and if you beat it, you had to get up over him, and that was tough duty.
Well, this is a small team that Georgetown has on the floor right now. Ferry wants it inside.
Whip pass to Leitner, and he was fouled, put him on the line.
Too small a team, Brent. Too small a team. Duke is playing right over the top of him. Alonso's got to get back in there. See, Danny Ferry just has Bobby Winston on his hip. There's no chance there, and then he goes right over the top whenever somebody tries to come over to double on Leighton.
Morning back up and ready to check in.
Pulling all the right plugs in the first half, but he can't get in sync in this last 10 minutes of this half.
The other freshman center moves center stage for Day in the Meadowlands. The deep depression against Arizona is forgotten right now with 5.5 minutes to go. Leitner and the Devils ahead. And again, Smith scrambling to the floor. Tillman misses on the three. Duke on the rebound with Bricky.
Doesn't want to get cute with Alonso. He got to get it up over half court.
Intercepted quickly in Tillman's hands. Bricky will come back after it, and the foul is called.
Brent, there was a case where Duke just got hung up with their own emotion. They had the ball over half court. They're in a great situation in regard to the matchups. Got carried away.
Now, Quinn Snyder being sent back in by Krzyzewski. Is this deja vu, folks? You remember the Eastern Regional Championship last year? What this defense did to Mark Macon, the Temple sensation? And here today, they have rattled Alonzo Mourning. And they're on the brink of springing again to their third Final Four of the decade out of this building.
There were some great shots yesterday in that Vegas game of Lois Tarkanian. Working those rosary beads wasn't good enough for her yesterday, and it's tough on these coaches' wives. Boy, a lot of talking on that foul line.
With a strong rebound, that could count. Put it down and send him to the free throw line.
And he was fouled by Christian Leitner, making his first personal.
Brent, the famous Georgetown press is going to have to turn the ball over some in the backcourt if they're going to be successful on this run. They have not been able to. As a matter of fact, they went almost the whole ball game without any steals until that one we just had a few seconds ago. Long.
But Jefferson pulls it away. And here's Smith on the drive for the layup. 17 by the senior guard. Now they turn the pressure up, but they get it to Bricky. He'll come up, and here's Leitner. It's knocked away beautifully by Winston. Leads Smith, and the Hoyas retreat quickly. Now it's Smith who's open over Ferry. He bangs in the jump shot, and in just a quick few seconds, they have pulled to within 7. Lead on a turnover again. It's the defense creating the offense as Tillman is fouled by Leitner, and Duke may have celebrated a little early.
If you've been itching for the hot looks, high performance, and driving excitement of a Pontiac Grand Am, now's the time to act.
You feel excitement. Get on your Pontiac and ride.
Get 4.9% GMAC financing on a hot handling Grand Am, or up to $1,100 cash back for qualified first-time buyers. Make your move. See your dealer for details today.
We build excitement. Pontiac ride.
GM makes the dream. GMAC makes the dream yours. With either financing or smart lease, custom tailored to fit your budget. Right at your GM dealers.
The dreams of America. GMAC. After 6 hours of school, I had enough for the day. I hit the radio dial.
With the designed-in sound of a Delco Electronics music system. Now the best seat in the house is in your GM car or truck. Delco Electronics. It's who we are.
You know why Spuds McKenzie has so much fun at parties? Because he's always in control. Spuds knows it's cool to live by one simple rule. Know when to say when.
A reminder from Anheuser-Busch.
7 unanswered points in 34 seconds by the Hoyas. They have closed the gap right now, and Coach Krzyzewski down to his last timeout at the 4:30 mark. Coach Thompson still with 2. Both teams over the limit, and in a hell ball situation, it will go to Duke.
7 points in 34 seconds. They've been doing all the missed free throws. They've been getting the ball back. Their defense has always been a big part of their offense. Clear out now for Smitty.
Tillman pressure defense.
He wants to clear out to take him one-on-one. Perry posted up on Jefferson. John Thompson has moved Winston over to Leighton.
Jefferson fronting Ferry and not making it easy for an entry pass down low.
They go to their double post offense, trying to get Danny Ferry the ball.
They wanted Snyder. Ferry loose. Hoyas go diving after it, and they come up with it. Here comes Smith. Bounce pass to Bryant on the drive. Fouled, and he'll shoot a pair of free throws. Team leader, Quinn Snyder, fouls out of the game with 3:22 to go. And before he leaves, he has a talk with the rest of the squad on the floor. Now he stops, has a word with Smith and Danny Ferry, and Snyder fouls out. The lead down to 4 with the Hoyas on the free throw line. What a great comeback by Georgetown.
Brent, what I think Duke's going to have to do against the press is go long. They've been trying to play it just in a half-court situation. They could take one chance here to go long and score quickly. As Georgetown's really put that press up in the half-court.
Just 2 minutes ago, Thompson was down by 14 points. Now he can make it a 2-point game. And Bryant does it for him. The pressure again by this smaller lineup that has turned the game around.
Way to fight over the screen here by Charles Smith. A hold on Jefferson.
Jefferson out on Ferry. They'll shoot 1-on-1 now. They're over the limit.
Georgetown foul by Sam Jefferson, his third.
So Ferry can end a string of 12 unanswered points here by the Hoyas.
John Thompson looking down at things, thinking with the lead he come back with Alonzo, but he keeps Alonzo down there to take advantage of this quick lineup.
2 different halves scoring for Ferry. Hits the big front end there with Morning watching.
Well, he started this season as the MVP of the Tip-Off Classic, the Player of the Year in the ACC. Denver certainly needed those two.
77-73. Time remaining in regulation. It's been an emotional roller coaster here in the Meadowlands, and Smith bangs in one for the Hoyas with Diane, his mother, watching.
With that type of clear out, they have nobody quick enough to take Charles Smith.
Whip it inside for Smith. He loses the handle, but Henderson's got it, and Winston knocks it away to Ferry. Henderson and Smith on him. The ball on that end line, out of bounds.
Right now, it seems that Georgetown is more calm behind than Duke is ahead.
Jefferson off the bench has given him a big lift. This time he reaches around Brickey and commits his 4th personal foul.
Not a bad foul, though. Brickey, the poorest free throw shooter on the Duke team.
Georgetown foul.
Now, Brennan, interesting stat. We saw LSU have this happen to them a lot, but Duke has been beaten the last 3 years by the team that eventually won the national championship. Their finals against Louisville, Indiana, and of course last year Kansas.
As Jefferson leaves, you saw Morning come over. 2:29 mark, 77-75. Duke leading Georgetown. Duke has hit its last 10 free throws.
They're clearing out a whole side for Charles Smith. Nobody over there with Henderson at all. Just one-on-one.
And Ferry helping out. Leitner jumps for it. Loose ball. Both teams go down like an Easter egg hunt. And a foul is going to be called on Smith.
John, here you see the replay coming up. Everybody battling every loose ball, meaning so much. Good job for everybody to go on the floor. Bricky and Smith coming up with it. There's Charles Smith reaching in and commits the foul.
3 fouls on Smith, who leads the Hoyas with 21 points.
Brett, you know what? Those clearouts for Charles Smith, John Thompson says, we're a lot better off when Charles isn't so democratic. Well, right now, Charles is trying to do a lot one-on-one, and that's what the coach wants.
That's 80 points in this game for Duke. And this team is 25-0 when they have scored 80 or more points. But they cannot be confident about that stat right now. The Hoyas are breathing fire. It's 81-75, and we come down to the 2-minute mark of regulation.
Duke goes into a little zone here to try to help out a little bit on Charles Smith.
Mourning wants it. Mourning over Ferry. Threw it up too hard, and Bricky came away.
Good pass.
Now it's Henderson. Smith tries to stop him. Ferry will set it up. They'll run some timeout with a 6-point lead, and the clock coming down toward 1:30.
They go in their little 4 corners, but Georgetown, pretty good defensive team on the floor right now.
Ferry not the one they want to foul. Mourning comes out to double. He wanted Smith. Bad pass. Out bust the Hoyas. It's Winston in the middle. Winston comes in and hits it. Makes it 81-77.
I think Duke's better off playing a regular offense.
Long pass to Leitner. Leitner draws the foul on Winston, and he will come to the free throw line. So the freshman with a chance to redeem himself at the line, and the score 81-77 and 109.
Brent, when you're 109, you've got a 4-point lead. You can use the 45 seconds twice and force them to foul you here. Duke, I'm surprised going for home runs at this point at the 1-minute mark.
Probably because Snyder is over there on that sideline. He gives Krzyzewski so much leadership on the floor as Winston now is replaced. He fouled out of the game, so he can only watch. As Leitner with 23 points, he's been perfect from the line so far today.
Notice the team John Thompson has on the floor. 4 guards and Jefferson.
It's 1 of 2 to make it 82-77. Back on an odd number. With the 3, they can still get even on 2 trips. Tillman will try the 3. It's off the mark. And reaching for it, the foul is on the Hoyas. Jefferson over the point for the rebound, and he will come up and shoot the throws.
Brent, just down 5. I'm surprised Georgetown went for a tough 3 right off the bat. We're going to get another possession. Now they've almost forced to go to 3-point shooting. Jefferson, a fine game today for John Thompson.
And the winner moves on to Seattle next Saturday for an appointment against Seton Hall. Michigan will play Illinois in the other national semifinal game. with inside of a minute to go. Smith, who is always dangerous in the clutch. And it'll be Jackson's three, short, controlled by Turner, and he is fouled. Berry commits his fourth personal. Now 46 seconds on that clock.
Brent, you're almost better off not fouling in that situation. Keep that clock moving. Let Turner have it.
The box! Be quiet, play. Now let's correct that foul. They're going to say it was on Ricky and not Berry. So that's his fourth, and Berry continues with three. 83-77.
Years we're guaranteed now 11 out of 12 of the contestants will have come from 6 conferences, of which these 2 leagues obviously fall in that mix.
John Thompson was signaling for someone to come around the side if there's a miss. The Hoyas were able to work this off missed free throws. Bryant starts at the back. Ball, that's everything. He wanted it off the iron, and they were slipping Bryant in from the left side. But he missed everything. It'll go to Duke. 46 seconds.
If it does not hit any portion of that rim, obviously it becomes the other team's ball, and that's why Duke took it over.
Leitner drops it. Hoyas ball. Jackson looks for Smith. He presses one up. Jackson underneath. They don't foul him, and it's Smith's rebound. 33 seconds. Blue Devils closing in on Seattle. Long pass now to Bricky, and the seconds tick away. They'll have to put him at the free throw line.
Good touch pass.
They move the ball, and the Hoyas can't get to him. Now they crash into Henderson with 16 seconds. Seconds remain.
After rigorous examination of the Mercedes-Benz 300E, one automotive journal concluded that it may be the best sedan in the world, and another journal called it a nearly spectacular mix of performance and practicality. The Mercedes-Benz 300E. Now that it's astonished the experts, let it astonish you.
Imagine a game with over 70 million prizes, enough for 1 out of 3 people to win. Introducing Scrabble at McDonald's. You can win hot, tasty fries, a cool $1 million, or spell Disney, like this guy, and win a trip to Disneyland for 4. And just wait till you see the new Splash Mountain. Now that's fun. Transportation included on Delta. What are you waiting for? Play Scrabble at McDonald's. In a word, you can win.
Play the 7-Up final match game. All the excitement of college basketball. Every 5 seconds, someone's bottle cap can instantly score free 7-Up or the chance to win $10,000 if they match that final championship-winning score. Hurry and take your shot.
Now, what makes me look so successful? This watch? Well, it's absolutely worthless in a business situation. When I leave the room, it leaves the room. My brochure stays behind. Think about it.
So the man they call Coach K, Mike Krzyzewski, is 16 seconds away from taking a team to the Final Four for the 3rd time in 4 years. The son of Polish parents from Chicago, who graduated from West Point, has done a fabulous job of putting this team together. one up deep. Smith, which could be his last shot as a Hoya.
Try to keep the ball moving here.
That's it. The Duke Blue Devils go back to the Final Four. Enjoys every fabulous second from the stands. Few moments in sport equal a college basketball team getting an invitation to the big show, the Final Four. And the Duke Blue Devils fill out that final piece of the puzzle. Next Saturday in Seattle, it'll be Michigan, Illinois, Seton Hall, and Duke. We'll be back with interviews.
President Bush attacked the budget deficit tonight in a speech before the Dow Jones average seesawed all day, closing up. The new administration's proposed budget puts less
change, twists, turns, the unexpected. To protect your financial security, you have to trust someone who knows how to deal with change. Perhaps that's why investments with Merrill Lynch grew by $40 billion last year. Merrill Lynch, a tradition of trust.
Feel your pulse pounding, your temperature rise.
Hot looks, high performance, and a whole lot of driving excitement. That's Pontiac Sunbird.
Yeah! Riding Pontiac! Get on the Pontiac and ride! Pontiac ride!
And now, with up to $900 cash back for qualified first-time buyers, Sunbird more than fits your budget. Check it out.
Rebuild exciting, man!
They should have asked us secretaries what we thought before they went out and got this useless new phone system. It's cutting people off. We can't do a decent conference call. I hate the thing. They should just junk it and get a whole new one.
So the Duke Blue Devils head back to the Final Four for the third time in 4 years. We're with the team over here, and Coach, great job again. What a classy group of players you've got.
We got a great group. I'm really proud of them. I'm sorry to say too much more. They played really well. We played a great basketball team that made a run on us, and for us to show that character, it's something, I don't know.
You've got some of the stars.
Hey, Quinn, have you ever seen Coach break out? Look at his tie. He's going all the way through the water.
we gave him a workout this year. This team's come a long way mid-season. We didn't know if we could be here. He's the reason. He just kept it faith, and we worked hard.
For you three seniors, here you got Danny Ferry over there. This is a regular trip for you now.
It's just really exciting, and we're really happy. We beat a great team today. It was a big challenge, and we came to it.
Where's that freshman?
Christian Leitner.
Hey, that freshman.
Here he is. Christian, fabulous job. What kind of a challenge did you think it would be against Alonzo Mourning? What were your thoughts going into this game?
My thoughts were just stay open because they're going to concentrate on Danny. And I just shaped up a few times to caught the ball from Quinn and hit my jumpers.
Mike, looking ahead now with this team.
Don't look ahead.
I hate to put you under that kind of pressure right now.
Bigger Northwestern guy does that to a Duke guy doing that.
Is this team better than the other two that you took to the Final Four?
Well, it's a different team. It's a team that's been under a lot more pressure all year long. And therefore, what they've achieved is maybe a little bit sweeter, but I don't know if they're better. They're all pretty good. I know we're going to play a good team.
This time you'd like to come away with a W out there, Danny.
Definitely two of them. It'd be great way to end the career. I mean, it's just been great 4 years, and we can end it this way. It'd be unbelievable.
Great job by the Duke Blue Devils and their classic coach, Mike Krzyzewski. Let's go back now to James Brown and Jim Nance. James?
All right, well, Brent, thank you. So now we know that Seattle is composed of 1 seed. Illinois, the only top seed to advance. Duke, a 2 seed, and 2 3 seeds, Seton Hall and Michigan. And Danny Ferry joins Rodney McCray, Patrick Ewing, Akeem Olajuwon.